Welcome to the Nightly Rant
with
your hosts, Mike
and Torya.
This is the show where we examine society from a sarcastic point of view.
If you like insane conversations, this is definitely the show for you.
Let's get into today's topic. YPN people, I don't know about you, but I love helping out a friend. That's why I want to shout out my friend Brian Little and his podcast, Your Favorite Blockhead. This is the only show that manages to weave together peanuts and MMA into one heck of an amazing podcast. You can find Your Favorite Blockhead wherever your favorite podcasts reside and at yourfavoriteblockhead.com. Do me a huge favor and listen to Brian's show. You'll be entertained and you'll help out a friend. Now, as I said, let's get into today's topic. So I'm in love with where we live.
Are you?
I am, and I didn't expect to say that.
The house, the neighborhood, the desert, what?
All the above.
You love living in the desert?
I love it. I never expected in a million years to say that I would love it. But dudes, I love it. Like I wake up in the morning and I come out here, and usually what I will do is turn off the alarm. Once I know I'm going to be awake, I turn off that alarm and I'll open that front door and I'll just open it and look outside. And I just look and I look at the mountains and I look off over here where there's just nothing, just dirt, just desert over there, over that way, whatever that is. I don't know. Do you know that I don't even know which way is north, south, east, or west from here? I really don't.
Craig Road runs east to west.
East is which way? To our left or to our right?
I have no idea.
See? Point taken.
When you're facing out our front door, it's north. You're facing north.
Facing north.
Yeah.
So then that way to the left would be west, and that way to the right would be east.
Okay.
That's interesting. So it's over there in the northeastern side quadrant over there. Just like desert over there. There's nothing.
There's that funky field in between us and all those warehouses.
Yeah, the one that doesn't seem to have any activity going on in it.
There was a truck in there the other day.
Was there? But was he cleaning? Because
all I did was saw the dude in his truck.
Because they do seem to keep it well maintained, cleaned. There's not a lot of trash rolling around in there like normally you would see in a vacant corner lot.
There was more trash that blew up against our front door during the last windstorm
than in their whole yard.
In their whole yard, yeah.
Yeah, and that's the funky thing too. I'll wake up in the morning and I'll find a bag just laying there, but it's just so, I don't know, it's so freeing and relaxing. And there'll be mornings where I will go and I will get on my bike. I have the e-bike now.
Yeah.
And I'll take it out for a ride for 20, 30 minutes. Just cruise around, clear my head, look at what's going on around me, and learn my neighborhood. And it's just so relaxing and calming for me that I feel like I've told you, I feel like I'm a different person.
Did you hear just now from our CEO that he likes it here too?
Oh my gosh.
He says there's good snips.
They love it.
There's nice people. He says he likes to go out in the backyard every day.
That's his favorite.
Yeah.
Tell him he can go outside in the backyard. He will go outside in the backyard. His other favorite thing to do is follow me into the garage.
Because he's not allowed in there.
He just likes it.
Yeah.
And I'll let him. If all I'm doing is going and grabbing a drink or a few drinks to bring back inside from the outside fridge, I'll just, come on, Yogi, let's go. And we go. And he's just waggy, waggy, waggy. He's so happy. It just makes my day. It makes my day to know he's that happy because of something stupid like that. It's just great. Don't think about it. Who's excited that they got to go into a room that they're basically not allowed to go into? Who cares?
The Saras likes it here. She likes to go to the park every day.
Oh, she's probably benefited the most of all of us, I think.
I think so too.
Because it's kind of calmed her down.
Mm-hmm.
And it's what that guy Caesar, what is he called? The dog whisperer guy?
Mm-hmm.
He always used to say that when you have kind of a high-strung dog like Brie, you have to exercise them hard.
Yeah.
And
she doesn't need very much of it, but she needs that more than she needs a walk. I mean, she gets her business out of the way in the first 30 seconds, and then she's just bored.
Well, and I throw the ball for her, and then after I've done that for a while, then I make them walk with me for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And I just get my walk in, and they have to go with me. They don't have a choice. So, but it's been such a great place. Like, what about the people that we've been running into?
People here have been so dang nice.
Right? Like, overall, high percentage nice.
Just so dang nice. We've met a couple of, jackassy people, but there are always jackassy people. But overall, every person we've met has been so dang nice, except for especially the people at your favorite new place, Dutch Bros.
Oh my gosh. Those people that work there are the nicest people on earth. I'm in love with all of them. Every last one
Except
of them.
the girl this morning. She was kind of salty.
Men and women both.
Weird.
I just love them all.
You love them and their Hawaiian shirts. Love them and their Hawaiian shirts so much we went there twice today.
They were cute today. They really were. I liked them. Mm-hmm. They were nice. And I liked that they were doing that to support a coworker who was leaving the company.
Yeah.
But actually, when I think about it, she didn't say he was leaving the company. She just said he was leaving. Maybe he's moving on up to another store.
Maybe.
Or transferring.
Maybe.
That's the kind of advantage of working in a chain like that. You can just go wherever.
Yeah.
But I really like that. But to me, there's that, like you were talking about bad people, there's that lady that we ran into who I could predict that she was going to be a problem. And there we were. We're getting out the car, and she's parked right next to us. And she's like storming off, like really stern. And all of a sudden she turns back around, and I'm like, uh-oh, did I do something? Like, that's the thought you have, right? And she storms right on past me again. I'm like, oh, thank God. What the hell is she doing? So I'm locking, I have to wait for you to get out and lock the car. Mm-hmm. And so I'm doing that. I'm waiting, and I'm watching her. And she had to come all the way back so she could get her flimsy little cloth mask that she was going to wear into the store. And so we all go in, we shop, we come out, and she's supposed to get her stuff checked or something. And she just like storms right on out.
She cut into the line, and then she cut like past a bunch of other people again.
Yeah, twice. And then stormed on out.
And then when she was putting her stuff in her car, she was just like flailing the cart all over the place.
Yeah, she was really rude.
It's just an unpleasant person. We're really reaching for people like the idiots of
that's like maybe 2 people total that we've run into here.
We had such an easy time finding the idiots of the world where we used to live. And now I'm having a tough one, man.
This is true. Because, but I'll tell you, like what's exciting to me is like, you go to the post office. Most people say that's the worst fucking place.
It is.
In the universe.
Because
and so people that have to go there are what? They're what? When they're waiting in line?
Grumpy.
Grumpy and miserable, right? Just like, blah. No, not at this post office. This post office, not any faster than any post office I've ever been at. But for some reason, the people are chatty and they're friendlier than the other place.
It's not even just the post office, man. We went to the frickin' DMV, okay? We went to the DMV and everybody was nice and friendly. The kiosk people were nice and frickin' friendly. They were super duper helpful.
They offered us extra service, which was to get our car registration switched over. We were going, one thing they do here, 1 appointment at a time is all you can have. You got to choose. Well, the license was more important than the registration. So we both did that first. Then we were going to have to make another appointment. God knows whether it would have been into August.
It was going to be like July 14th.
Yeah, who knows when it would be.
Yeah.
And then you got to wait and come back again a second time and go through that rigmarole, okay? Mm-hmm. But instead, my dude says, oh, well, her lady that's right there can help her get the car registered. All she has to do is tell her. And as long as you have the stuff, we'll let you do it. We won't hold it open while you go get it. But if you've got it, go for it.
Well, and she was so nice. She told me I could go get it and then just come right back inside. And then she said to just hover near her kiosk if she was busy with somebody. And so that's what I did. And it was maybe 5 minutes of hovering there. And then they did it. And they even waited while you had to call the insurance place and finish getting the insurance done. Yeah,
the insurance had messed up and started our Las Vegas insurance a day later than they were supposed to. And all they needed, it was fixed. That's all. Right. And so the insurance company, I'm not going to bash them. I'm not going to say anything bad. It was a mistake on their part.
Happens. And they were great about fixing it.
And they fixed it. Bam. Just no problem. On the spot, they fixed it. And if you think about it, it makes sense. Because even if they had been right originally, we could have changed our minds and moved a day earlier.
Right.
For all they know.
What I still can't figure out is why the policy starting a day earlier is $17 less per payment.
I know. That doesn't make any sense, but I'll take it. Especially since it went way up. Like, it got really expensive.
Yeah.
Really expensive really fast. But it's almost like the savings we're getting in rent is going towards
car
insurance in a way. But that's okay. At least it's covered. Yeah. But, you know, overall, I feel like a different person. I feel like I'm more outgoing. I can talk to anybody about anything. And I've always been that way, but I filter it.
I can feel myself slowly unwinding.
Yeah, you used to say that where we lived before was just too intense, and it wound you up really tight.
I would go back to Canada, and I'd be there for a week, and maybe on the last day I was there, I would finally start to unwind. And that is like city doom to complete seclusion in the wilderness.
Yes.
It would take me a week. We are not in the wilderness here. We're still in the city. So, yeah, I'm finally starting to unwind.
Not wrong about that, yeah.
Finally. Starting to, like, uncorkscrew my spine.
I think for me, it just happened faster.
Which is what it is.
I'm just saying. I think it just happened faster for me. But I think that's how I would describe it.
I don't think California consciously bothered you as much as it consciously bothered me.
I think that having lived there as long as I had lived there, I had gotten numb to it.
Probably.
Because I can remember, like, when you would complain about certain things, I can remember that there were points in my life where I thought the same thing. But then for whatever reason, you push it aside or you justify it or who knows what the reason is. But for some reason, you wind up learning to accept it and you just move forward.
We would be sitting on our couch. We'd be sitting on our couch at the apartments we were in that we just left. And we'd be watching TV, and then it would be a quiet spot, and all I would hear is cars going by on Bloomfield, and asshats honking at each other, and fireworks being lit off in the riverbed, and people in the trailer park doing dumb shit, and people in the trailer park playing loud-ass music. And it was just so like, oh my god, it's always loud, it's always busy, it's always crazy. And here, the only time it's been loud while we were sitting on the couch is when that super frickin' rad jet flew over at like 9 o'clock at night, and that thing was cool.
Yeah, it was a stealth bomber or something like that, wasn't it?
B-2 bomber or something like that is what the people on Nextdoor said. Also, the people on Nextdoor here aren't a-holes.
It's a different way of living.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
And it's a different way of living in a very positive way.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say that it's because of the people. I'm going to say it's more because of the environment. I'm a big believer that the environment determines people's actions.
Okay.
Their way of reacting. Okay. And I think that being in the desert, things are very minimalist. They have to be because hardly anything's going to live in the 109-degree weather we're going to have on this weekend. Nothing's going to live. Nothing will survive that. Nothing will survive that. It just doesn't live. Except maybe succulents and cactuses, you know?
And those weird trees.
And really strange trees, yeah. But nothing lives otherwise. That's why everything around here is rocks. Everywhere you look, there's rocks. And at first, when we used to come here and like pretend that we were living here by getting a room in a neighborhood.
Yeah.
Well, I used to think to myself, I don't know if I can get used to this brown rocks everywhere. And then we move here and I love it because it's just something you just grow to expect it. Oh, there's going to be rocks. And then people try to get creative with what they do with the rocks. So that kind of turns me on a little bit to see what's going on. You know, like, oh, let me see this. That's exciting.
I really like the people who have like lush green turf on their front lawns. It just looks so good.
Yeah. Yeah. And we know they spent a good money on that too.
Yes, we got the turf quote. We know it was expensive.
Here's an example though of how this is. We always talked about how we wanted a place that was more of a small town feeling where I could easily get into mischief in the bigger part of the town, right?
Right, because you do like your mischief.
And we're like 10 minutes away from Fremont Street. Yeah. We are. We're like 10 minutes away. It isn't far at all. So
no, and it was easy to get to.
Here's what a small town feel you have. We go through the Dutch Bros, and the manager guy, we pull up and he remembers exactly who we are.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, he knew exactly who we were.
Yeah.
And started chatting with us about stuff.
Yep.
And then gave us our drinks and was very carefully wiping them down and everything. Like, the service is impeccable. and people treat you like you're their friend, not their enemy. It's more of I'm going to trust you until you give me a reason not to, rather than I'm not going to trust you until you prove to me you can be trusted.
Even the dude with the stupid hair at Walmart pickup was friendly, and he did not look like he was going to be friendly.
No, but he just was a friendly dude. I noticed that.
I fully expected him to completely ignore my comment, and he did not.
No, and he didn't take it as an insult. He didn't like get an attitude, or anything like that. He took it in the spirit in which you were asking it. What's going on? You guys are a little bit slow. What's up?
Why? There was like 15 cars parked there.
Yeah,
you guys a little busy today?
And then he was just like, boom, here's why.
Yeah.
And he totally realized that your question was a real question, not a stab at him, for, hey, you're doing a crappy job. And they're not doing a crappy job. I mean,
they weren't slow today.
The orders are accurate. And they're fast enough.
And it was only in 5 bags today.
I don't understand that though. Like, I would probably, if I was doing it myself, I would have ended up with 3 total bags because I would have put 8 in a bag and I'd have been done.
That might be too much for those flimsy little cheap bags. I probably would have done 6.
Double bag them.
But then there's 6 bags.
Who cares? Come on. You're going to do 6 anyway.
No. I would have put 6 in a bag. 6 in a bag. 4 bags.
Puts to 4 bags. That's all right.
But last time we got it, it was like a bottle of pasta sauce. Your own bag.
It was weird. It was really weird.
Why are you killing the earth?
Mushrooms. Own bag. It was the weirdest shit.
Yeah. Whoever bagged that was really afraid to stack things on top.
Yeah. It was really weird. It was almost like they had no clue what could go together. So they just put everything apart. And it was like so many items that weighed nothing. It was the weirdest thing. I was like, wow, there's 100 bags here. Why is there so many bags?
My favorite was the packet of ranch. Like, the powdery packets of ranch that you mix with sour cream. Own bag!
All by itself? Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah.
I can't even believe. That's hilarious.
It made me laugh.
Because when you think about it, like, it literally is somebody who has no clue how to bag. They've never been taught. So their solution, well, you can't even fault them for their solution because in the end,
their solution is way better than Mr. Soup Can on top of your bananas.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what to do. And no one's teaching me. So here, I'm going to come up with my own solution. And you know what? I respect that. Yep. Especially after just having had to do reviews of people and answering that question. Mm-hmm. I had to think about it in like, you kind of have to detach, when you work so closely with people, you have to kind of detach yourself and look at the situation as an outsider. Yeah. Because if you don't, you either react with emotions in a good way or a bad way. You know what I mean? Like, It just depends on what's going on at the time. And long and short of it is, you have to take a step back and look. Well, when you take a step back and look at like life in general, I do think that we overthink things because I think in some ways we're just kind of pushed in a direction. And I think that's why our whole original thing about loving where we live is interesting because I think we were kind of destined to wind up here.
Well, now that you've wrapped that back up in a nice little bow and we're destined to live in Las Vegas, I'm tired. The SARS is tired. You look kind of tired. Good night.
Tired? Tired? Okay. Hasta la bye-bye. Thank you for listening to the Nightly Rant.
If you enjoyed the show, please give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts or Google Play.
If you didn't enjoy the show, please just ignore that previous request for a rating.
This has been a Yogi's Podcast Network production.